Hello, 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 everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back to the LesBi Real podcast with your host, Genesis.
And Mariah. I be messing around with this mic.
You be yo.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
Mm-hmm.
So we just wrapped up on part
One
one
of sexuality.
of sexuality. So now we're gonna be segueing into sexuality, kind of,
Sorta.
sorta, but maybe something that we would like to disclose to our audience.
And also I think as a good I wanted to disclose this or talk about this because I think that the amount of research that I've been doing and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
why not add more content to it and also a different perception of my experience? Because I think it's, and this is gonna be new because we haven't spoken about this.
We have not.
I mean, we have, but
We have, but not in the way that we're about to speak about it.
no, yeah. So yeah, I don't even know how to start this. Should I speak on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, let's talk about Valentine's Day.
So, as I said in part one, I am always been considered the conservative gay.
Mm-hmm.
LGBT, blah blah. No more other colors. What are you doing? They, them, who? Are you owl? Like things like that. Valentine's Day, we were driving around and we passed by a house that had the gay flag with colors, extra colors, and now a circle. And I'll ask you for your experience in this since dating me.
Mm-hmm.
I get really like offended, like not offended, but like, why? Why do we have another color? Why are we being this extra? Why? And I think it was just being more hyper aggressive in the car, more.
It was coming from a little bit of a triggered place,
Yeah.
is what it felt like. And I said, hey, it's okay. This flag is being more inclusive of other types of expressions, other races as well. That's what the other colors are for, and the circle, and it's just inclusive of everyone. So we kind of went over with the flag man, and you understood.
I understood, but I think I felt like I was holding something back and like
Correct.
I'm trying to understand, like trying to learn my feelings and emotions. I don't like to feel feelings. I think feeling feelings and feeling emotions make me icky and stuff like that. But I've been learning that it's okay. Those are just called like other types of feelings. And you should process them as the way that you would process being happy, sad, or mad, or anything.
Correct.
Like that. So we came home, and I was just like in a funk.
Yeah, there's like a little cloud.
Yeah, you see how you always
Just like a little cloud.
I had a little cloud over me.
Mm-hmm.
And I start doing these random outbursts of random conversations, and I think that I have a lot of windows open,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'll start spitting out certain things. And you were in the kitchen, you were being super patient with me, and I was describing like, I know this couple, they got recently engaged, and I just started to describe the individual, them, and I'd stop the conversation and I'd come back, and they had top surgery. And for those who don't know what top surgery is, it's basically a double mastectomy, but with a more of a masculine presenting chest.
Yeah. You sculpt out a pec.
Yeah. So, this individual had it done about a year and some change ago, and they were considered non-binary, and their pronouns were they, them, and stuff. And I remember just pacing in the apartment, speaking really negative.
Yeah. I think a lot of it was about like, how did they find someone, and not how they found someone, like how are they in a relationship? How is that person, their partner, okay with this?
How is their partner okay with it? How do they even come to flat out say or go about changes like this and feel so comfortable doing so? And then having met somebody who just accepts them because they had one one perceived notion of them and how they appeared and stuff like that. And then as they evolved, like, how does that person stay committed so much so that they were even engaged? You know what I mean? And I think that I was just going through a lot of like, I don't get it. Yeah. I don't understand. How can you feel this comfortable and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And then I asked you a question in the parking lot of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want?
You can say it.
I can say it. There's a few jokes that Mariah likes to make, and let's just say I just noticed that there was a lot of air around. Oh, well, there was a lot of air around. Joking about being trans, right? And that's not where this is going, by the way. But joking about being trans, and I was like, oh, have you ever considered it? Because, you're masculine presenting.
Yeah.
You like sports.
Yeah.
You like play basketball. Go to the barbershop. I'm not saying you have to be, but, is it something you've ever considered? Because I think it's an option that people are exploring more widely now. And you couldn't really answer the question at the time.
Yeah, I felt incredibly uncomfortable by the question.
I literally opened Pandora's box.
It made me extremely uncomfortable with the fact that I knew how I wanted to answer the question. I just didn't feel comfortable saying it out loud. Because it was a conversation I never had out loud. Or I
in the way that we were going to have it.
Yeah. So I think that, back to that conversation when it ties into it. I remember because you were in the kitchen doing something. I think you were doing chicken cutlets.
Oh yeah, something. Probably making chicken cutlets.
And I was just pacing back in between the bedroom and here, and like wanting to degress by myself. And you were like giving me my space and stuff, which I greatly appreciated. And I think I flat out came out. I was like, maybe I'm just jealous. Do you know how hard that is to say that out loud? Do you know that's so difficult? And it was like a breath of fresh air when I said that. I was like, maybe I'm just jealous. And I never had this type of conversation with anybody or anything like that. People who know me knew I've always wanted a reduction because of my megapecs. I've just never been fond of my chest. ever.
I cannot laugh when you say that.
I've never been happy with my chest.
Yeah.
And like I said, people who've known me, family, friends, they all know that. I would go down the road of like, oh, I'm going to get a reduction. But ultimately, what I truthfully wanted was something similar to that top surgery. I just didn't know how do you accept this version of yourself? Like, it's a wild concept.
For sure. And I remember trying to reframe, because that's my favorite thing to do, of being like, well, like some people are more, I guess, like accepting, or they're able to understand that maybe their partner's having this anguish, in regards to just their chest, right? So they're able to accept this. Like, okay, you're going to get top surgery, and I'm okay with that. And because we were talking about this particular person who got top surgery, they're engaged, they're non-binary, not necessarily trans, but like they met their now fiance or wife, I don't know if they got married yet, as a woman, and they're no longer a woman, in a way, when you think about it in the grand scheme of things.
So I think that when we were having this conversation of, why was I jealous, or was that what I was feeling and stuff like that? Like you said, not that I opened Pandora's box. I think I've embedded this type of conversation so deep, so deep, and I've buried it. And now I'm provided with the space where I feel safe enough to even explore. It's such a crazy thing to even just say the things out loud and just be able to process it, because you can't. I've kept it so deep. And I think that growing up, especially in my 20s and stuff like that, I might have tried to have this conversation of sexuality and like,
gender
itself. And I think that I would, like you just, I joke around a lot about saying trans, funny things and stuff like that. Because there's some truth to some sort of joke, right? And I think that where I was years ago, and when that conversation came up, like, hey, I hear that you joke around a lot about this. Is this real? And like, I remember, I'll never forget that feeling of like, oh, this is the opportunity, like this is it, like this is where you can let this go. And I think the conversation that was had after was it wasn't a safe enough space to explore this side of whatever I was feeling.
Just to talk it out loud. You couldn't talk it out loud.
And I understand. I think and I think that's where the embedded fear of like, well, if this isn't someone's interest, right? They don't find this remotely attractive, or that's just not who they go for. How could someone else be into it? So I think that's why So I think, truthfully, to be honest with you, I think that's where this conservative gay persona came out. Was to combat that. It's like, well, yeah, no, never mind. It was just joking, like blah blah, and it was nothing more than that. So I think that coming now and seeing that flag and how it just like I was so angry. I mean, I was home. We were home literally angry. I was just angry, like not angry, but I was just like, oh, it was just, and I was more upset with myself because I had this weird feeling like I had to get it out of my chest. I was like, well, I went through this conversation once many moons ago and it didn't go the way it didn't pan out the way that I would have wanted it to. And also, truthfully, I didn't know what I wanted back then. Not what I wanted, but
you didn't have the space.
I didn't know what I wanted out of the conversation.
Correct. Yeah. You didn't have that space to do it.
Exactly.
So then I come here and I'm like, hey, let's talk about it.
Yeah, and it's like, since having that conversation with you in that kitchen, it's been a game. It's changed everything. My whole perception of it. I've never felt more confident or more comfortable with myself. So we had a lengthy conversation, and
Take your time.
After we had a very, very in-depth conversation about what I was feeling, my sexuality, and just everything in general. And I could confidently say out loud that I feel I'm just Mariah at the end of the day. Right? I'm non-binary. Non-binary. My pronouns could go from anywhere from she, he, they, them.
Yeah.
More so they, them. Because I don't, it's crazy because thinking about it, like, and having our conversation, like, I always, not that I felt uncomfortable in my skin, I just didn't think that this was me. And I think that going above is like, well, I already came out as a lesbian. I dress way more masculine than a lot of other people. I move differently. How can I possibly come out and say, like, hey guys, I want top surgery. I am non-binary. Like, I've already met the threshold of having to go through that. So how can I do this now?
Right. And that's the thing, is that was like a ball and chain that you gave to yourself.
Oh, 1,000%. I did this all to myself.
Yeah, and it's like there was no threshold.
Yeah,
because you're always able to open and evolve and change. But
which in the past 2.5 years, I've realized that it's okay to change and it's okay to evolve and stuff like that. And I think that this person has always been here. I just didn't have the space to talk about it.
No,
and we spoke about it all weekend.
It was an all weekend
because I think it's major. This is the most. I mean, even talking about it here, because I'm typically very private, and here we are doing a podcast. But in terms of things like this, yeah, I feel way more confident in myself in saying, that I am non-binary, and my pronouns more so are they, them. There's some days that I feel more masculine. There's some days that I feel more feminine. But to go around saying, like, yeah, I'm just a woman, and it's not. It's way more deeper than that.
It is.
And like coming out in our other episodes, I told a couple of friends of mine who, they all took it. They all took it so well. Exactly how what friends are supposed to do, right? My biggest thing was to tell my mom.
Yeah.
That was she took it really, really well. She I was nervous because I wanted to tell her that I wanted to get top surgery. And yeah, I told her, I called her, and I always throw things on my mom like 2:00 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, like no prep or anything like that. And
or
I
at
called
a funeral.
her, or at a funeral, and then no one had died, so
no one had died. You couldn't
so I
wait that
couldn't
long.
wait. So I was like, I called my mom and I told her. I was sweating. I was booming, and I was like, "Hey, can we just?" I'm like, "Hey, real quick, can you talk?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure. What's up?" And I was like, Mom, I've been wanting to get, my reduction and stuff like that. She's like, yeah. Did you find someone who's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But I think I want to go more towards top surgery. And I thought I was going to have to go into depth and explain what top surgery was and stuff like that. And I forget that my mom was one of the OR nurses that was taking, like, when they were doing, like, vaginoplasties and all that at my mom's hospital. She was that nurse. So she's like, oh yeah, I know top surgery, and like, went ahead and wanted to explain it to me, make sure I knew what it was. And we had a lengthy conversation, and she said, why did you want to do this? And I, told her, I've always felt a bit different in this way. And I told her, I not that I'm trying to be a man, nor am I trying to be a woman. I'm not trying to be anything but Mariah right now. And I don't know where this journey is going to take me. I just know the path that I'm currently on. I'm loving it. I've never felt as comfortable as I've ever felt as before. Yeah. And being able to talk to her about it, my biggest fear is that I felt like I'm her only child. And I felt like when I came out to her as being gay, like, I felt like I might have taken away all these opportunities she could have had with a daughter, like, picking out a dress, prom, getting our nails done together, getting our hair, all those like mother-daughter things. And our relationship is just different. And I explained that to her, that, my fear of telling her this, I wish I could have told her this sooner. I just didn't know how she would take it. And, my mom had the best response. She's like, at the end of the day, I support you. No matter what, I love you. You could be a guy, you could be a girl, you could be a plant. I don't care what it is that you identify as, but I love you, and I'm here to just see you on this journey. And I think that was my biggest fear, was telling her, because how like I said, how much further am I going to push the extreme of like,
right?
She sees me, I'm where, it's just a different relationship, and I just felt like I kept taking things away from her as a parent. You know what I mean? It's like I was having this like mother-daughter type relationship, and this was exactly what a mother-daughter relationship is. A child or
is being open.
It's just being open.
Yeah.
And she's she's on the bandwagon. She's with it. She's like, I'll go to all your surgery appointments. We'll figure out. This. We'll
do it.
We'll do it. How's your chest? You have any ideas of how you want your chest to look like? Send them over. Tell me so we could look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's her, and she handled it. She's great. She handled it really, really well.
Can I say something? I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that you decided to share. I think that you'll see in the other episodes, I'm saying she and Mariah and women and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it was her story to share.
Yep. And I appreciate you being patient.
Of course. So you will hear me go back and forth. Because we still identify you as my girlfriend.
Yeah.
So that's where we've landed so far. How
does this make you feel now that we can like this journey? Because like I don't know. So I'm also we might as well. It's the eyebrow for me
because I don't know where you're going
exactly.
With this. I'm sweating.
I'm on HRT.
Oh, we're going there. Mm-hmm. You are.
I am on HRT. And for those who don't know, it's hormone replacement therapy. I've been taking testosterone for a while.
Yep.
Just for like health benefits, it increases your
mental clarity.
Gives you more energy, you just feel rejuvenated, stuff like that. And then since we've embarked on this journey together, I enjoy the benefits of testosterone at the low doses that I was taking. And I met this phenomenal doctor, our new PCP. Phenomenal.
He's so great.
He's amazing. And went ahead and explained where I was mentally, where I was sexually, where I was just as in life. And upon, having a deeper conversation with him and with you, I decided to continue with HRT, but at an increased dose of, a weekly dose. And it's been the most, I was nervous, and that could be another conversation. I was nervous doing this because this is not a commitment. This is
another step.
Yeah. And since doing it, we've been doing this for, I think, 6 weeks now, almost now. It's going to be 6 weeks. And I wish I would have started sooner.
Yeah.
It's been way more affirming. It's not that I'm leaning one way or another.
Yeah.
It's just confirmed exactly I'm loving I can appreciate the change, the growth in things. So yeah, we're committed. And how does that make you, how does this make you feel?
I get this question a lot, by the way.
Like at least twice a day.
How does this make you feel?
Like in the morning, hey, so good morning, hi. So how are you feeling about the conversation we had 10 months ago?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that conversation? How can you wake up? Sorry.
Hey girl.
Hey, hi. How are you feeling?
So truthfully, it was a really interesting experience because I brought up the question, hey, I've noticed you have this particular reaction about this particular topic all the time. And I'm into frame.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so I think that it allowed me to see the transformation of someone coming from a really highly emotional state of being like, no, right? Like, you're very much like, how could someone be okay with this? How could someone change on their partner in this way? And how? And
yeah.
How are people so comfortable with doing this and this and this?
Yeah.
And in reality, it was coming from a place where you weren't feeling seen. And while you were confident as a woman, and as Mariah, because you are a very confident person just in general, seeing you somehow become more confident stepping into yourself as a non-binary person, changing your pronouns, going through that process, because you guys are getting the story at the end where here's all the benefits, right? But it took a while to go from, am I trans? What is non-binary? What does that mean? I remember when we talked about your pronouns. I was like,
yeah, this has been a process.
This has been happening for some time.
It has been.
And to think about you going like, I remember you distinctly said, am I a they? And I was like, I think you are. I think this is they territory. Because I remember us having the transgendered conversation and you were like, I don't think it's that.
I still don't think it's that.
Yeah. And I think you enjoy
the fluidity.
Both. Yeah. Like, I think there's some pieces of you don't want to lose. With the exception of the megapecs.
Yeah.
Those can go. Those can go. Which, that never bothered me because I understand, like, it's a lot, right? And especially being more masculine presenting, you guys can't see, but Mariah is well endowed, So it's like I already knew that was something that would be really affirming just from a self point of view. But watching it, I'm going to bring back the flower. Watching the flower bloom, seeing the seed, watching the roots come out, and you realizing that there's something more, finally unlocking this piece of your brain of like, oh my God, I can be more myself. You're able to explore this, and now you're changing your pronouns. Now you're on HRT. You increased your dose. You're just feeling better. Guys, you guys don't know this. She's walking around straighter. It is something incredible. Like before, and I think a lot of people in general, women who have larger breasts, tend to do the hunch.
Yeah.
That try to hide, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Mariah does that all the time, and I understand, because it's like, well, you got a lot going on here, and a lot of people try to make them smaller when they're really big, because you do get comments. I mean, I don't know how many comments you get about it, but at least like some friends of mine who have bigger boobs, people are like, damn, you got a lot going on over there. So it's like, I can imagine trying to hide. You're more masculine presenting. The clothes that you wear, you typically are in the men's section anyways. Yeah. So it's like, shirts don't fit the way you want them to, and jackets don't look the way you want them to, and things look more bulkier because you have to get a bigger size to accommodate them. So I already knew that was something that was really going to help, right? Yeah. So to see you go from I want a breast reduction to I want top surgery, I don't think I'm a woman. I don't think I'm a man.
Mm-hmm.
I think my pronouns are they. And seeing it all come together, you're walking around straighter. The mental clarity, I think, is a lot better.
For sure.
You've somehow become more secure in yourself. And watching that process it's been so inspiring.
Mm.
And I'm really proud of you for taking the leap of faith into exploring who you really are, because it is scary.
It's so scary,
especially when you think, is my partner still gonna want me?
Yeah.
And I mean, we just talked about it. I'm a pansexual. I think that this is something, not that I'm primed for, but it's not taboo for me. I think if I happened to be a lesbian, it would have been a larger jump.
Yeah.
Because I'm attracted to women if you're a lesbian, right? But because I was a pansexual, in my mind, I'm like, does Mariah change?
No. And that's what and I think I was emphasizing. I think Mariah, I'm still at the core. I'm still going to be, no matter what I look like, I'm still going to be the same person.
Exactly. And
I just look a little bit different.
And truthfully, the changes aren't. I think the biggest change we're going to see is your breasts at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to change physically as much. I mean, have I noticed her arms getting a little bigger? Maybe. But I think the person that I met in Grand Central at Track 17, as long as that person's still there, change whatever you want. I'm going to love you regardless.
I mean, thank you for creating this space for me. Thanks for creating the safe space, for allowing me to explore this side. And yeah, I appreciate you more than you'll know. Because I've been happier. I've truthfully been happier ever since we've had that in-depth conversation. Like, truthfully, when I said it out loud that day, it's like I took the world off my shoulders. Like, it was just like a breath of fresh air. It was incredible what I was feeling. 1,000%. It was the feeling that I can't. It's like everything like all this nasty, naughty feeling, it just went away.
Because there was a lot of negativity. Because at the end of the day, you were trying to avoid those feelings.
Yeah, it was. Every time it came up, I'm telling you, I
immediately angry.
I mean, you saw it like all the times, even joking around by it. Like I would have like it would nasty comments and like
a lot of people, it's an avoidant thing that people do in general with everything, not just that.
Yeah,
where something that you don't want to talk about, that you're hiding, that you're uncomfortable with.
Yeah,
a lot of the times it manifests in anger or frustration or lack of understanding, and at the end of the day, it's just something you wanted to explore and you couldn't. But I'm glad you were finally able to get that out.
For sure.
And I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you for sharing.
I'm thankful for you. I appreciate you.
I love you. I love you.
I love you.
So maybe you'll understand my confusion at the end of part 1 because I was like, oh, we're going to go there.
It's been, because I there might be changes or noticeable, like, you know what I mean? And
there
like,
might be some changes.
So I'd like to just be able to discuss it as it goes, and we can continue to have this open conversation and my journey through this, our journey through this, and we could also keep talking about it. Won't be the main thing, but if anything comes up and stuff like that, we could keep having conversations. And how, like,
here we go. How are you feeling about it? Is that what you're gonna ask again?
Like I said, I don't know where this journey is gonna go. But for sure, I am so excited for top surgery. So excited.
Yeah.
If no one, I am.
That's gonna be the day.
That's gonna be awesome. Like, I can't wait. I truthfully can't wait. It is what it is. It is.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I can't wait. But knowing that I'm on HRT and stuff like that, and what if I don't know, I don't identify as trans. I'm not trans. For sure, way more comfortable saying that I'm non-binary, and perhaps going with another name and stuff like that, and toying with that idea, and not toying with that idea, but feeling more comfortable in just who I am and who I'm, not evolving to who I've been at the core, who always wanted to come out and just didn't feel safe enough to come out. How would, like, I don't know how to ask the question.
I don't know what you're trying to ask.
You do know. How do you feel with things like having to, first of all, having to explain this to people? That's a lot, right? Having to explain this to people.
Yeah, it can be.
And if appearances do change, these are two different questions. I understand.
Yeah.
Remember my tabs that I have open? I'm always at, look, I have such,
yeah, we're just gotta.
I know, I'm trying.
It's okay. So to answer your first question.
Yeah.
I think the through line with me, if you think about my coming out story and stuff like that, is that I don't feel the need to explain things to people.
You're right.
And
that's what I love about you.
I just don't care.
Next time we go to Puerto Rico, so Mariah's outside without a shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. We're good.
No, it's gonna be fine.
No,
I would love for someone to have a problem.
No, I don't think anybody will have a problem.
Nobody will, but if someone did, I'd be like, we can also have a problem. But I just don't feel the need to explain myself to people. And when I say, oh, by the way, Mariah may be going by a different name, Mariah's not gonna have a shirt on at the beach anymore. She will not have her Nike sports bra. That's the mask uniform at the beach.
It is.
She will not have that on. Ooh, can I have it?
You can.
Ooh,
She wears everything I'm fine, so I don't.
Yeah, I have a whole new wardrobe.
Oh, the pink one's nice.
That's the one I want.
Yeah,
that's the one I want. So I'm not gonna lie. I put on a bathing suit in Puerto Rico. I was feeling it. I was like, oh my
killing
god, yo! I was like, this is phenomenal. Anyways, I'm just gonna tell people, hey, Mariah's going by a different name, maybe. Pending. No, pending copyright. Pending or trademark. And things may change, and I really expect people to ask me. You get like 3 questions before I get an attitude.
Yeah,
because I can understand that change is different for sure. But at the end of the day, I just want to be happy. I want you to be happy. I want the kids to be happy. And if anybody's gonna have any issues or comments or questions, I'm in my own world. I don't care. I don't care what they're worried about it. They're not going to make more money because they don't like it, or they have questions or comments or concerns. I'm not worried about it. Me and you are happy. The babies are happy. That's all I care about. And if you being the best version of yourself, the most comfortable version of yourself, the most confident version of yourself, all that's going to do is be a benefit to the family as a whole.
Yeah.
Because they get to watch you be this person. They get to see you be happy.
Yeah.
And that's what kids need at the end of the day. They need role models. They're still their own individual selves.
For sure.
But the happier that we are as a unit, and now you are as a mom, is going to be the best outcome for all of us. And I wish someone would say something. I wish someone would say something. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't care. But it is going to be an adjustment. And it doesn't scare me.
I want no kiss.
You want another kiss? We're going to kiss a lot on this podcast.
And I never...
Not the audio.
And I was never the one for PDA. That was the best part.
Oh my God, yeah. Not the one for PDA. Immediately we meet in New York City. She's like, oh my God, can I grab your hand?
Please, can I hold your hand?
Can I hold your hand? You didn't ask though. You didn't have to.
I did. I was like, again with the 2. I said, can I hold your hand?
Yeah. And I immediately was like, duh. Like a cat taking her claws out. You better hold my fucking hand. I've been waiting. My palm has been sweating.
Question number 2.
Yep. Repeat it one more time.
How do you feel about this journey? The road, physical appearance could be slightly different.
I mean, it's just hard because I'm like, I just find you really attractive. And in my mind, I'm like, oh. So I find confidence attractive. I like a person who can walk into the room and
she just called
like,
me a butterface. That's what you just...
That's so good. That was not so what I said, because you're literally not a butterface. That's crazy. And so I think, because I'm already just attracted to you baseline. Like, you don't have to open your mouth. We're good. You know? And then to think of in how like intellectual you are, the conversations that we have, like your confidence, all of it, like you just hit so many things for me that it, like, I know like your physical body's gonna change, but I don't think it's changing in a way that's gonna change my attraction to you. Like, oh, you're gonna have a more chiseled jaw or bone structure? Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you still are gonna look like you. And even then, you've started, there's like I said, like you have like your arms are bigger. You, like, things.
Tell me more. Like I'm 5. Explícame.
Like, you just look more brolic. I don't know. Is that like an actual word? Is brolic a word?
I think so.
You just look more brolic, just more like a hunk. And I love it. I'm here for it. I mean, what's there not to like?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the changes. Let me say this: they don't scare me.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it. It's not something I think about. And also, like, I live with you, so like the changes, I'm watching them happen in real time, and sometimes it's harder to see things. Like, it's different when if I don't see you for like a month.
Don't say that.
No, but it's an example.
I don't want that.
But like, you know how like when the kids come back,
yeah,
and we're like, oh my god, they grew like 8 feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, literally, Olivia looks like a little girl, like a girl.
No, yo, she's a full blown teenager right now. I was like, you saw her. I was like, oh wow, okay, you're grown. Well, I think like because we don't have breaks from each other.
Yeah.
The changes happen, and they just are there. If that makes sense.
We've been together for 7 months. Okay, keep going.
We have been.
Mm-hmm.
Our 7-month anniversary was not the.
Oh no. Mm-hmm.
I'm screaming. It's been a phenomenal 7 months.
Yeah.
Official 7 months.
Official.
But technically 8.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been great. But yeah, no, I mean, the way the changes are happening are just they're just happening so slowly.
Yeah.
That I don't really notice it until I take time to think about it. Like, I think you asked me the other day, and I was like, yeah, you thick. Girl, you thick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, no, not really girl, but you know what I mean. But like your legs look different. Like, you look like you can just like really like play UFC right now.
Wow.
Play UFC, fight in UFC.
You can go play.
Go sports.
Go play the port.
Go play, kick each other in the face.
Yeah.
That's all I feel like that's all that they do. I welcome the changes. Can you just still be Mariah or pending name from track 17? That's all I care about.
I can guarantee the personality.
That's all I want. Your soul. That's all I want. Just you. I don't care what you means. I don't care about your name. I don't care about what you look like. Can you just be
But that did draw you into me.
You?
My appearance.
I mean, yeah, but like who? Look at this. Look at this. It did draw me in, but it's not like you're going in for surgery to get like chin implants or change your nose or change your never change your nose. I like noses. I like Mariah's nose a lot. You're not changing things in a way that's going to be drastic. Like, I think it'd be different. Say you were a man transitioning into a woman. That's a change and a half. And I'm not saying that it doesn't change the other way around.
I think since maybe I'm just so androgynous looking as well.
Yeah.
I think that also.
Yeah, that's.
Basically,
I don't think your face is going to change in any way that's going to make me be like, you know what? I'm good.
I think that I'm just more non-binary, because people wonder, like, you're taking HRT, obviously it gives you more testosterone. You're on testosterone. I am just a non-binary, masculine presenting individual.
A they them.
A they them. Just I would like to be more masculine.
Then how would you like people to refer to you as? Is it okay if they call you she? Is it okay if they call you he? I think that as
well, either or. It doesn't bother me. I don't mind being misgendered because I don't see it. It doesn't.
Is it a misgendering if you're both?
That's what I'm saying. So I think before I used to get upset when people used to call me a man, but it was because truthfully, it's like it isn't. My breast make me feel like a woman. I never liked my breast.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I didn't want to be a woman. But it's just, this is what defines me.
It's really hyper feminine.
It's super, and I'm, like I said, I'm big. So like,
yeah, because since they're bigger, it is hyper.
Like how are you misgendering me with this? When I don't even like this?
Yeah.
Like how could you possibly still call me
Yeah, no, that I've never understand because like it's not like
they're not, like, and I'm not wearing baggy clothes. Like I wear fitted clothing. Those who know me, I'm not. That's never been me. Yeah. So I think that's why I would get upset because like,
how
I would love to have continue to be misgendered, but how could you possibly be doing that? Because now I just been thinking you're doing this from another angle because like,
right,
it's poking me in the face. I got them strapped up. You know what I mean? Like how are you? So I think that, yeah, I don't. My pronouns are they them. I'd prefer, but I don't mind being misgendered. I think that once I have top surgery, I don't know because I'm not there yet, right? But seeing the direction that I'm going and really truthfully enjoying the HRT and everything that's come with it and stuff like that, I'd probably be they, them, he once I have top surgery. Like I said, it's a journey, and I'm big on loving to know what the outcome's gonna be. I would go through life knowing outcomes and then planning to get those outcomes that I've wanted to achieve. And I think I've learned in the past 2.5 years that it's okay to have a plan and not know what the outcome is. Enjoying the journey.
Right.
So that's where I'm at right now.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
On topic, but in a different direction.
Okay.
If we get married, when? Not if. How would you want to be referred to as?
Oh. I don't know. Either or.
Okay.
I don't think either. I don't know. I don't think I'd lean towards either side.
Okay.
Like,
we can also circle back. We don't need an answer.
Yeah, like. Yeah, I as I say it out loud, wife. I like wife.
My wife.
Yeah. That doesn't make me uncomfortable. And saying my husband, it just feels foreign. In the sense of, I may appear to be like, but that's not.
That's also not it.
That's not it.
Yeah.
If it's in between the two, it's a wife. If I had to choose in between the two, like I said, things can change, but most likely wife is something that I would feel more comfortable with. What about you? How does that make you feel to even have to bring up a question like that?
Well, I asked because, since you are gonna, well, maybe, like we said, we don't know. Top surgery needs to happen.
Can't wait.
Yeah. But you might be going more towards he, they, but from a practical standpoint of that's what you look like more than anything. So that's why I'm asking, because it's like, because you're gonna look more like a boy or like a man, you're expecting people to address you as such, because now the one thing that was very clear about you that's making you a woman is not clear anymore. So like, where are you getting the woman from, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm curious. Well, do you want to be my wife or do you want to be my husband? Now, I came from a place where I've been dreaming. Well, let's be real. Even though I was in other relationships with
this is gonna be fun.
Men. I don't want to talk about it.
Hey,
we don't gotta talk about it.
Hey.
I've always loved the idea of having a wife. I think I've always felt more comfortable in gay relationships, even though my other gay relationships obviously didn't pan out. But I've always liked the thought of having
a wife.
I've always wanted a
and
wife.
That I can see myself looking more masculine presenting and still being comfortable. Like, that's,
yeah.
Even if there was a name change or anything like that, even like, we're gonna be gay.
We're gonna be
so gay.
Mega gay.
Mad gay.
Yeah. I mean, who's to say that you get top surgery and it makes you feel more empowered as a woman?
Who's to say?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it
super duper they.
A mega they.
A mega they.
You know, so it's like, but I just want to make sure that at the end of the day, you're comfortable with how I'm going to be addressing you.
Because I'm not, I don't want to be cis. Like, look like be.
Mm-hmm. You like the androgynous look.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I like the androgynous look, and if it's only going to become more androgynous or more masculine, I think that I'm going to love it even more.
For sure.
But I don't want to be mistaken for as a cis man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you see? Do you?
Yeah.
So like that's where it's going. Like, yeah, I think that I'm gonna have more changes and stuff like that,
but that's why they makes the most sense.
Yes, because I'm.
What about Zizim? I'm just kidding.
I'm not gonna even Google it. I'm not.
See, I actually still really don't understand. We're pending education.
That's your part.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I wanna understand. I've been trying to understand, but I'm just not finding like a good source to confidently say I know what that is.
What this is. Yeah, I think that that's why I'm like, I'm not trans.
Yeah,
I'm not a trans man, because it's like I'm not. I just want to look more masculine presenting.
And whatever gender dysphoria. It's almost like, is it erring on the side of body dysmorphia?
Yeah,
more than gender dysphoria.
Yeah, or maybe a little bit of both, because I just feel like I identify as a woman because by default that's what I was born as, and I have
valid.
That's just physical presenting stuff. But taking photos of myself, like if headshots or selfies, like, wow, I don't see an ounce of a woman there.
It's so interesting because I find you to be so pretty.
I think that I'm pretty. I think that I'm just androgynous looking.
You are, and I think that's also what I really like about you is that you're giving both. And like, as a pandy wandy, I'm like and a Libra at that. Stop. I love both. So I think that's a part of it. This is what I've always loved to say. I love a handsome woman,
and that's what I am. A handsome.
You are a handsome woman.
But so I think.
Well, now a handsome they.
Yeah, but as marriage were to come and stuff like that, like I would feel more comfortable. Like I would be cool with you referring to me as your partner, but if we were to get married,
because it's like I would hate to be like, oh, my partner.
No.
Oh, you guys aren't married? No, we are.
That's
okay, my wife.
And there's some masculine presenting women who are masculine as masculine lesbians who look more of a man than I do, and they're just straight, lesbians.
No, it's true.
Yeah, so like, I'm not fearful of it. I just,
okay.
Out in public, if they were to be misgender, like he or something like that, that would be fine. But that's because you can't fault them for how I look, right? Like, right off the bat, like I don't have a sign, a tattoo. Like, I'm a they. You know what I mean?
Pronouns.
So, and that's fine. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Wow, this was a big one.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. I appreciate you.
I love you.
Mwah. Mwah. Are we done?
I think we should let them breathe.
We should, because this was a lot.
This is our longest episode.
This is our longest episode.
Holy shit!
And this might be news for people too. I told the people who currently know, these are people who are very, very important in our lives. Here we go. I'm just saying. Oh wow.
No, that
important in our lives, who I didn't feel like I owe anyone an explanation or anything like that, but I wanted to tell people who I love and who we're close to and stuff like that this is what's going on in my life, and
share the good news.
And share the good news.
Can we have a gender reveal?
Yeah.
It's just yellow
and brown.
Yellow and green.
Yeah, but I wanted to, and you deserve a lot of credit for this. For allowing for being patient with me, for never in becoming defensive, or because I was, like I said, when I was going through it, when we were having that conversation all Valentine's Day weekend, I know my behavior. I was super upset, totally mixed feelings from different angles and stuff like that. And you stayed true. You stayed present. You allowed me to have my space. You wanted to know, do you need me now? Do you not? Do you just want to go into the room? Let me know if you want to do. And you never pushed it. You never pushed it. You just allowed me to speak. And I appreciate that. And I feel the most supported. I appreciate you.
I'm glad I was here for you, my love. I'll be here for you like I was yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. The next lifetime.
Better.
I'll be here.
I love you.
I love you.
Okay, one more kiss.
All right, everyone. Have a great night.
Have a phenomenal night.
Have a good night. Enjoy it. It's been real. It's been real. For real. It's been real.
I guess drop in the comments your experiences. Do you feel something similar?
The days
where your journey, for those dating someone who's going through this journey.
How is it for you?
Yeah, let us know.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.